Hey everybody, just real quick update. I hadn't done like an update like this on projects. I have been doing stuff. I actually been doing a lot of resin. I put up that one really quick little video that showed some of the resin work, but let's just get into it. Did find these fit pretty nicely. I think I'll have to put a little bit of resin in here just to both hold it and both hide the fact that it doesn't quite fit 100% perfect. But I'm going to work on making more of these, and I've got some of these ordered so that I can actually make them into little necklaces, so to speak. I got one of these. I don't think I showed this off. We did this out of plaster, so I made a mold of this. It got a little messed up in the mold, but it's okay. And this is just a chrome cover, so I thought that was fun. These are finally done, so I wanted to show these off. I think they came out pretty good. I like them overall. I should probably clean it before I show it off or whatever, but yeah, I like these overall. I think this is a great way for me to have the back of this box on display while I already have the front of the box, and now I've got these fun little customs that I had a lot of fun creating. And I think the only thing that was holding me back for the longest time was just getting another blister. And I happened to find the blister for that. I don't know if I had shown, was actually the blister for Man-at-Arms. Shout out to one thing that's been really helpful is I've been watching Rogue's videos, Rogue's Toys, and it's really cool because I was having trouble finding these guys. I would go to Targets and everything else, and then I'm watching his videos, and he's finding them at HEB. So I started going to HEBs, and there, lo and behold, I found another one. So now I've got two of these, and so I made up another one. This is my original, which isn't really that as nice as this one, in my opinion, just because of the box problems that I ran into. But now I've got two of these. So I was potentially thinking about maybe selling one. Maybe you can have an office one and a home one. But I just thought it was a fun project, and it was real quick and something that I could pop out because I know exactly the colors. I know exactly how I want it to look. So some of the other things that I've been playing with is still making plenty of swords. I recently made molds of these, which are really interesting because I made a mold of this, and I'm also going to try and fill these with actual resin. Another just little fun project. That's something that I'm waiting for it to cure. Back here, you'll see I've got some pictures of Hater. So I'm thinking about trying to make a clay face of Hater, and it may either be, and this is just my rough draft right now, to kind of see if that works. I may look at getting a 3D printer. There really aren't any Hater from Wander Over Yonder. He's pretty much Skeletor, but there aren't really any toys of him. So it's like you kind of have to make your own. Swords are coming out good. We got some different glitter. We actually have a bunch of stuff lately that we've been getting. I kind of alluded to this before. I don't know how many people are like watching for like learning resin, but I've been getting much better results with where I kind of push the resin in, make it overflow, and I'm getting really good results with that. And I'm not getting bubbles in weird places, anything else. Evil Lynn stuff continues to work out just great. I mean, I can clean this one up a little bit. I'm just kind of roughly going through. One thing we've been experimenting with that we want to do more of is doing two colors. So trying to do either a dark color first and then a light color, or a light color then a dark. I think for these, going light first and then dark looks really interesting and really good. I got one bubble right there, but otherwise it's okay. And most of the other pieces came up pretty good. Again, Skeletor heads are just coming up. My wife's been doing some fun stuff where she'll put just glitter on the mold, and then you get it just on that face, and then like the rest of it's kind of clear. I think that's kind of fun. This one we did with a little bit of the white. There's one other one in here. That's one that I painted the face of. Yeah, this one. This one came out really fun. Like it's just dark, 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 and maybe that's why. And this one actually bubbled up a little bit in a couple spots. Let me see if I can find which one it was. I think, and this is this is mainly because we started to think about how this works. I think maybe it's one of these ones where we put in dark light, and actually the way they feel like they feel like this. So we put in dark then light. So we wanted to try and play around with that a little bit more. We also did, this one should have been what they call zinc, but it's really like a purple. But yeah, I'm still looking at potentially setting up an Etsy shop to put some of these on sale. I've just got to figure out shipping and all that kind of stuff so that I'm not just, you know, losing money on every sale or whatever. And I got to figure out too how much I want to do or which ones I want to get rid of. I've already had the problem where like I mentioned that to my kids and they were like, oh no, like you can't sell this one, you can't sell this one. So I had them kind of go through and pick out things they liked, you know, swords that they liked or weapons. So they've kind of done that already. But yeah, I mean, I'm still just pumping them out. I went through the other day and did like a once over clean. I'm also a little bit concerned as far as from like if I'm going to sell them, how to package them. Resin's not like the most durable thing in the world, especially if I guess you're going to, you know, package it. I know you could put it just in an envelope and hope for the best, but I think you might get some that are just going to come crumbled. Just depends on how they show up. So that's some of the big projects I wanted to kind of show off, just that we finished these. Stephanie McMahon back here, I was thinking of selling her with a staff. So give the original staff and like a staff of somebody's color and sell this on like Mercari or somewhere else. The only problem I have is she had another accessory and I put it somewhere because I was like, all right, don't lose it. But then I lost it. And so yeah, that's just been the general update. I don't think there's much of anything else. I think the only other thing is I got, you know, I showed off these lights. So I'm using these lights right now. So hopefully this just kind of makes things look a little bit more interesting whenever I do a video, or if I want to do a review of a specific toy. Or I've had some ideas of doing some like silly storyline stuff with toys with the kids. So maybe I'll do that as well. And then I've also been just learning a little bit of video editing. So at least now I can like splice videos together. That's mainly why I'm doing the toy hunts, is just to give me some content to learn how to poke together. And what you'll see is each time I put out a video, I'll add something else. I'll like learn how to use transitions, or I'll try to do something else. And it so far is all very easy. It's just finding the time, you know, to make the time either between crafting or doing something else. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of check in just in case anybody's interested in what's going on. Also, if anybody's interested in some of the things, like, you know, if you see something you're like, oh man, you know, yeah, Skeletor heads, blah, blah, blah. Let me know that you're interested or whatever. You can contact me, you know, through comments or whatever, just to get a general interest, like I said, so I know, should I work on, you know, making my Etsy store? Should I not? You know, also, like, I'm kind of wondering about pricing. I'd kind of like to be able to sell like a set. Like I'd kind of want to be able to sell a sword, trapjaw stuff, Skeletor head, a fire, all like of a similar color combo. And excuse me. And also like a Stephanie McMahon staff. Should have more of those staffs somewhere. I think they're just right around here, but maybe they're actually underneath there. Nope. Okay. But yeah, I want to maybe have it like a combo where I sell it like all bundled, like a bundle of Motu stuff. And I was looking the other day at other Motu items that I have, and I didn't really find much of anything that I think would go all that well. Like, you know, I could do the axe. I don't know if that's that iconic. These little maces, I've never really been that interested in. Like I kind of talked about before, like one of my sons really wants me to do guns, which, I mean, maybe that could be interesting, but I'm just not sure. I mean, it's the same as like, you know, this guy from Kane. I'd like to get Roboto, but I still haven't been able to find a Roboto anywhere. Like, unfortunately, I'm hoping that they will re-release and we will get Roboto soonish. I mean, the other options are I could make a sword that has that little like the little Skeletor sword. I could kind of finagle it so that I can make a full sword out of it. I do want to show off though, just in case Pixel Dan watches or anybody else, that this is Keldor's body, and my swords, because the resin's a little bigger, they fit just perfect. So that's one thing I do think will be helpful, or might be a reason why somebody might want to buy one of my swords, is if I can find the original sword that I used. This is the original sword that came. And again, I could try to replicate that coloring. It might be a little difficult, but usually it kind of falls out. It's just not as good. Mine, like I said, is just a hair bigger, and so it seems to hang in there pretty good. Whereas this one, it's just not quite there. It's just, it'll just always kind of fall out. And let's see if we have another one that's a good quality. Some of these are not the greatest of quality, but some of them are just, you know, perfect almost. Just depends. But yeah, I mean, there's dual wielding, you know, I mean, not only that, I mean, they glow in the dark. The only other concern I have is I do have a little bit of mold damage going on, which you can kind of see here. I did something silly. I wanted to see what would happen, and even like this one has a little bit of bubbling. I wanted to see what would happen, and unfortunately, it wasn't good things that happened. What I was planning on was I was like, I'll just put school glue in a spot. I'll paint it on. I'll paint school glue somewhere, and then I'll put just glitter or just some opal or just something shiny there, like metal flake or something. And then I'll pour in the resin, and then what I was hoping would happen is the resin would grab onto that glue. That glue can't really stick to the silicone. It'll yank it out with itself. It'll be a nice bond. It'll be awesome. And I don't know if I can find that sword because I forget which one it was. But that all sort of worked. Here's one of those. That all sort of worked until it damaged the mold itself. And this one came out great. I don't know if I like the, this is where I was talking about where like some of this dark with light looks really nice. This one seems a little busy. I want to try this again with like less of this metal flake. I think would be interesting. But yeah, there's one sword, actually it might have been one the kids said, oh, I want that one. That one's really cool. But what I tried to do was just this area to have something. And you can see now I get some damage, I think, in some cases on the other side. Again, I don't know. Yeah, and this one shows off that damage pretty well. I don't know how much people would care about that if they're getting something that, you know, glows in the dark and, you know, it's at a reasonable price. I think what I've seen people get, I mean, like I could probably maybe clear coat it or something to make it look more smooth. Like I've been thinking about getting also UV resin for that, so I can clear coat it, and you know, maybe that's a way to kind of hide that imperfection or like fix it. But I mean, I've seen people that are selling the 3D printed ones, and the 3D printed ones, I mean, they've got, you know, you see the lines. They're not like super clear. They don't have all the color in there. They don't have glow in the dark. And I mean, they'll sell like a set of maybe like 5 pieces for like $10 or something. So it'll be kind of interesting to understand what the pricing of these things should be. And mainly it's mainly the only thing, you know, because a lot of this stuff is, you know, it's hard to put in a, you know, cost of what the resin and all the other pieces are. Like I said, I mainly want to make sure that if I'm selling stuff, I'm not literally sending money away whenever, you know, I ship, because my shipping's too low. Really want to cover shipping and then just cover some of my supplies, some of my time. Not really looking to make, you know, crazy amounts. It's also just putting a little bit of this fun stuff back out into the world in some ways for me. But like I said, I also don't want it to be like too cheap that it's just, you know, just giving away stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to show off that, and I thought that was interesting because Pixel Dan the other day pointed out how, you know, his Keldor sword, it won't stay. And I mean, you know, these just that little bit of extra. Oh, that one came out this time. But for the most part, it's much better than the original. the original that just doesn't even like to be in his hand. It seems like it's odd. But these are so much nicer. And like, maybe that's the thing, is maybe I need to make specifically, see if I can start mass producing these Keldor swords, like specifically like replacement Keldor swords. But I don't know if that would be fun enough for people. I mean, the one thing I could do that would be interesting is I could get the tip to glow, but it might be a little difficult to mass produce that. That would be my only concern, because usually what I'm doing, I don't have my molds here, but usually what I'm doing is coming and filling this way, and that way I can fill up and hopefully push all the air out, and then I've got some vents that come here, and then that way I can vent out this, because this is really bad about trapping bubbles too. At least that's how my my staff is done. The sword currently, I think, is filled from here, and then has maybe some vents that come out on the side. So it's really, again, it's probably another one I could set up a separate way to mold it again and see how it comes out. I did get also I made another half Skeletor mold head, so I can just pump out a different version, the one where his mouth is open. And I'm interested to see how that one looks, because that one's paint job is awful, but it actually still has a lot of detail, so I think it'll come out okay. But with that pretty long catch-up video, just to kind of, you know, show where I'm at. But yeah, just let me know, comment or whatever, if you're liking anything you see or you care at all. Like I said, most of this I'm just making just for my own you know, fun, just to go back and review things that I'm doing and keep everything kind of, you know, sorted out.